Hello and welcome to another episode of Napoleon Total War Multiplayer Battle. We have a 3 versus 3 matchup for you, and as you can tell, I am playing as the Austrians. Now, I don't typically play with the Austrians, not for any particular reason, just don't ever tend to seem to be playing as them. But let me tell you a little bit about the army composition. I have 4 landwehr, which are the equivalent of militia, a good deal of German Fusiliers. I think I have 6 of those. I do have the Archduke Charles Legion, the 47th Czech Regiment, and the 1st Regiment Emperor's Own. I'm just going to call them the Emperor's Own going forward. A lot of big mouthfuls. I also do have 3 of the four long rangers. I believe the rules were 4 light infantry and no artillery. These are my special unit right here. These are the Windrush Jaegers, which are, the way I read it, they use these guns, and it's mostly like a BB gun kind of deal where you pump it, and it shoots really far and really accurate. So, they even like have a little ball on the bottom there. That's kind of interesting. But my opponents are the Prussians on either flank. So here's this Prussian, and the other Prussian's right here. Now this Prussian is going to look at the nice foot guards over there. Gonna be fighting the Ottomans, and my Prussian and myself are going to be facing off against the French. Now the plan for us is this Prussian's gonna give me about half his army. So we got 3 musketeers, 2 long rangers, and a foot guard unit, which is the 8th Life Regiment. And it even brings a Schwarzen in here, so that's pretty nice. The plan is we're going to capture this hill and try to take out this French while also holding this French at bay. This French is going to claim the hill, it looks like, and basically sit there the entire game like a noob. So good luck with that. Meanwhile, it does look like the Ottomans and the other Prussians are just gonna fight over this little territory. The Prussians have a good little vantage point here, and the Ottomans have a good one here. So we'll see how that plays out in the meantime. But right now I am pushing forward. I do want to use this hill and this hill to my advantage. And the French player that I am playing against is probably their best player as well. So let's see how it all shakes out. I am bringing my windblowers. I know that's not called windblowers, but the Windrush Jaegers. We're gonna put them right there, and also I had a little extra money. I also gave them a little tick of veterancy, which is nice. I am moving rather slow to start this battle, so realistically, if he would have pushed forward, he might have really put me in a bad spot. But right now, I am getting all my guys into lines, and my Prussian is doing good on the flank over here, making sure that no one comes and affects us on this end. I really do like this map. This is a cool map. It has a lot of different high vantage points you could shoot from, different obstacles, and it's just a really neat map. Looks like we do have our first bit of action with the Fusiliers getting in with the Azars. So, and they also got the Nazim Cadet rifles getting shot at pretty good. So, little close quarter long rangers. So they are starting to get a little bit more in there. I do see that he is bringing his 6th Regiment Day infantry in and getting a little exposed, so I am going to go ahead and try to make the push here to see if I can't get into him. It does look like he doesn't see me coming, and boom! Bad day to be a light infantry. Those are my first Hussars, and they are doing some good work on that. Look at them go. They said, I don't want to be here anymore. Where's my mommy? But they do square up. They should have probably countercharged. I should have probably gotten back. But this does give me time to get my lines in position and get in better spots. I do move my landwehr up, and while also having my long rangers shooting at their long rangers, their Voltigeurs. Their Voltigeurs only have 100 range, where my guys have 125, and I'm gonna let them shoot my landwehr all day. They're militia. They're meant to die. That's kind of their purpose in life. But they are out of range of their Fusiliers, and so they can't shoot the landwehr, and the landwehr's range, you can't see it, but it is kind of right right before the Fusiliers. So Fusiliers are really just getting shot at for no reason. In the meantime, am getting a lot of good shots on here. He does decide to go ahead and bring in the cavalry charge. I see it real quick, square it up, and don't let that happen. Look at the rearing. Oh, poor guy. The Cheshire has never had a chance, but he does try to get in on my other Archduke Legion. I said not so fast, and I bring in my Dragoons to clean that up. He is starting to make a really big push, though, with his Fusiliers and another Fusilier over there. I see that, so I am bringing up this landwehr to try to hold that off and also get my Jaegers on top of this hill to shoot over in case of any type of so I can shoot over so I can get double the lines on them. Meanwhile, I pretty much killed all their long range. He does finally see that he isn't getting any shots on my landwehr. He does move up this Swiss foot to get in range. But at this point, I've done a lot of damage. And if he does kill these guys, then it is going to be mostly militia kills, which is fine by me. It cost one of these is two of these in cost. So that is a perfectly fine trade. He does bring in some more elite guys. He does bring in Fusiliers. I do get off a square. I don't know if this really does much as far as the melee infantry, but it does get them it does have some kind of penalty. I am bringing in more reinforcements. I got some German Fusiliers, and I am going to move up my 2 elite units as my back line because my melee or my militia landwehr are starting to wear down a little bit. And but yeah, for the most part, I am looking super solid at the moment. Trying to get into his Fusiliers with my horses while also building the lines, just waves and waves of bullets basically. So I am still shooting down at these guys, he is about dead. He is now facing my Fusiliers and my Jaegers, so he is going to get shot up pretty decently. Let's see what else we're missing. Oh, he does get a good charge into my militia, but at this point, he is going to have to account for the Emperor's Own and these German Fusiliers, plus all my Jaegers and my Windblowers. My Windblowers actually are out of bullets. That was a really quick, I didn't realize how quick they would lose all their bullets, but yeah, that was, they end up with a ton of kills and really push the battle at the very onset. So he does end up breaking one of my units. He is into the Archduke's Legion now, and but I do still have a lot of good vantage points for him to try to, or for him to die. I do get the look at this fat stack I bring in here. I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially since I got these 2 lines behind it, so I am shooting my guys in the back. But I do have this sweet little vantage point. He can shoot over all my German Fusiliers, and it's just a really good range. I do end up repositioning my lines and just let the Archduke do what he's going to do because he is just going to get bayoneted over and over and over again. I do move my 2 healthy lines up and remove my 1 existing landwehr that did survive that battle, and now he has 2 healthy lines that he's going to have to fight off, and it's really looking dire for him at this point. I did win the battle right here. I do see a little opening where if I can get in behind and get into this area, I can just totally clean up this flank and really focus all my attention back on this side. Meanwhile, let's just take a quick look. There's nothing happening on this end. He just wants to stay on his hill, and on the other end, it does look like we're having a little bit of a Mexican standoff. He does get some swords in, but realistically, they're just kind of looking at each other, not really doing a lot. This is where most of the action is happening at the moment. So I still got this great vantage point. I did try to make sure I wasn't shooting into the... Oh, look at that. I shot my guy in the back. How dirty. Oh, I missed it. We did get around, and we are cleaning it up at this point. I am going to go ahead and send this unit in as well to do the full pincer here in a second, I do believe. Or maybe I just said I'm just going to keep shooting and let my guys work the back end. I do lose a horse, but that's alright. He does see it a little too late, and he does bring in the rest of what he has left over. He has an old guard, which he's been saving, a dragoon, and another Cheshire. But at this point, it's too little too late. He's just got outnumbered. Now his 6th Regiment de Legionnaire is gone. And also he's trying to bring in both cavalry. I do see it just in the nick of time and get my guys into square, so they are going to get the square bonus. Maybe. Yeah, there they go. They're rearing up. So, yeah, it was just a bad day for him altogether. Honestly, I was very impressed by how good these Austrians are holding out. I mean, the French are definitely the creme de la creme. Those are the best units in the game. I do believe in this right here, the Old Guard being the best unit in the game. It's just been a lot of fun. I do realize at the 11th hour that I do have 2 full squads of German Fusiliers I have not used at all. So they're going to get into the fight here in just a second. But at this point, there's really not a lot they can do. They've pretty much wasted those 2 horses, and I am going to get my guys back in the lines to try to combat this Old Guard. They are still putting up a little fight, so I mean, this isn't over, but at the same time, I definitely have more units than they do. I did leave my general back there, which is kind of dumb. I could have probably used them for inspiration. He does have a general staff right here, and I am just going and putting some volleys into the rest of them. Old Guard is starting to wear down a little bit. He is down to 84 from 120. I am starting to get more lines into position, and it's just at this point, what's the old saying? It's all over but the crying at this point, because I do still have 2 full squads. I do bring 1 squad of Fusiliers over there, and I do have 1 here. I do finally bring up my general's unit, but at this point, it's just a matter of time before they get finished. He does bring in his general staff to YOLO. I do get the square off. It doesn't really give me much of a bonus, but at least I get it off. But yeah, let's see. They're already down. Oh yeah, they're already dead. I'm surprised the general hasn't died yet, to be honest, though. He does go ahead and do the full YOLO, Old Guard, Bayonet. Oh, and he changes his mind at the last second to try to get my Jaegers. Bad decision. He should have just got the charge bonus, getting into my 47th Regiment. But yeah, now it's just going to be a melee into the square. Meanwhile, I do got these guys coming around the back end, and I do have a lot of long range left, which is awesome. It's going to come into play a little bit later. So at this point, I pretty much wrap this up. If we'll look over here, the French did decide to come down the hill and are going to make a little bit of an effort to try to push the Prussians. On this end, we do have a little bit more of something going on in the flanking areas. Got a lot of long rangers. Looks like they did clean up a lot of the Ottomans right here. I guess that was a little bit of a battle. Going back to my side real quick. Alright, we've just finished up. I said, alright guys, where do you need me? I got half an army. Where do we need to go? I was thinking, alright, let's go finish this off. Obviously, with there being 2 Prussian players, I didn't realize who they wanted me to go to. I asked, who do you want me to go to? As I was walking towards the French, he said, nope, go to the Ottomans, help clean that up, and then we'll go and fight off the French over here. So, all that's happening right now. Oh, and nope, still going. Well, anyway, we're gonna see how this fight goes. He's gonna play a little cat and mouse with his long range. Does have Prussian Fusiliers doing some work on the Chauchers and some of these Fusiliers line. So, yeah, just a getting a couple good shots. But let's go check out what's happening on the Ottoman side. So the Ottomans do decide to push up. Look at these fat stack lines. Alright, so this right here is a clear sign of he probably hasn't been playing very much. Try to spread your lines and do layering attacks, because this isn't going to help you win any battles. It looks like the Prussian did the same thing now. 3 fat stacks going against, well, 2.5 fat stacks right here. I, meanwhile, am bringing my guys on over to assist to help clean up, and let's just see how these fights go. So, the lines of fat stacks with the with the charge into the fat stacks. You can actually kill some of your guys by doing that, but looks like he didn't came out with minimal casualties, and he is leaving a lot of guys back. He's got life, hussars, dragoons, and general staff. Okay, so oh, and foot guards. Okay, so he does have quite a few things left. Oh, getting the charge in. Meanwhile, let's take a quick look at the long-range skirmish over here. He does have these Cheshires. It looks like he just now activated. I was about to say, why in the world would you not take this juicy Schrutzen and not just run in and kill him? He does have these Hussars that are going to try to countercharge up here, but I think these Hussars might be a little too late. This is some of that janky Napoleon. Okay, ooh, those three guys just didn't like that. So, yeah, this is going to be a quick end to the Hussars. Unless he can get these lines up and shooting. It does look like he does a little bit of that. Right now, these Polish and these National Guards should be coming up and trying to fight this off, especially since he sees that I am now trying to get on this side. Look at that. I did get into his horse guards right here. He got him squared up before he had a chance. I'm about to do the old sandwich on the fat stacks, and yeah, this isn't going to take very long. Look at that though. He does get his foot guards into a long thin line, which is better. Oh yeah, see, look at all that. He dropped about 6 or 7 right before, and okay, but yeah, I will say fat stacks do have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to the melee though. So it really just all depends on how you're trying to use them. I do have my 2 fully healthy German Fusiliers shooting into that. I'm giving my other boys a rest. Everyone's very tired. Very tired, and tired. Yeah, so, and they still got to make a whole nother trek to the other side. So at this point, we completely shut them down. And, yeah, he's going to clean that up. So now, off to the other side. So, so far this has been pretty dominant at this point. Me and the Prussian really took advantage of this kill box right in here. Me having the 2 long rangers right here with the landwehr right here shooting up the long rangers, the Voltigeurs of the French really did put an advantage on us. And then me having this little angle, and my goodness, look at all the dead bodies right here. This is where he just bayoneted, and I was shooting from here and also up here and a little bit right here, all into this kill box. It was just nastiness. So at this point, I even tell my opponent, I said, hey, if you have any sort of chance, you do need to go out and make a move, because once we get there, it's going to be all over. We are starting to make our way. I'm starting to make my way, at least. Look, I don't know what the Prussian's doing. He's just kind of meandering. It's kind of weird. But I'm running them. I'm trying to get to the other end. I'm bringing them all over here to get this flank. Probably should have maybe gone over this flank, but I did see that he did have a ton of units over here, so I wasn't really trying to double up one side, and I was trying to get more of a balance here. So in the meantime, I guess we can still watch a little bit. Musketeers are going to be going against these Fusiliers and the Swiss foot. They do say, well, it is 3v2. Let's go ahead and get back up our hill and get the advantage. Does have a fully healthy Cheshire right here. And look at this. I mean, you got Polish, and Fusilier. These 4 lines could have been put to such great effect. I mean, just right here, like, play a little long game. You have the hill. Let them sit up here. Bring your lines down here. Let them shoot over. But they just didn't do it. Also, I noticed this. You got your long rangers shooting directly into the hill. Not really getting any kills whatsoever on their Chaucer. So just basically wasting bullets. I see it. I tell my guy I'm not really doing anything at the moment. So I'm just trying to run across the map. But yeah, he doesn't end up moving them. And I guess whatever. But this is really just kind of at a standstill. Let's go ahead and bump it fast forward for a second. People are either shooting into hills or not moving. I guess this is the only area where there's any kind of action happening. Oh, okay. He does decide to move some horses onto the flank. This does cause my ally to move back and put and put some guys into better positions. These are my wind blowers, or my wind blosh. I'm just never going to pronounce that good. Oh, he is trying to get in there. He does square him up, it looks like. And, yep, there they go, rearing up. He is going to lose some horses because of this. He's going to turn his lines. He will try to countercharge. This is a classic what you should do. Oh, man. He's tearing through his own lines right there. Nope, no own kills here, but that's... He actually survived that better than I expected him to. Alright, so I am starting to get there, but all my guys are very tired now. These guys are out of bullets, so I'm going to try to use them as cannon fodder. Let them waste some bullets on there. My ally is starting to push a little bit on this hill. They do have a little disadvantage because they are going uphill, but they do have the advantage of being in the woods, which does help a lot. Alright, well, so we're still just kind of facing each other, just looking. And my ally over here is starting to make the push. He does have 2 foot guards on the far side, and he is pushing with a Torskotsky, which is a Lancer unit, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it is a Lancer. And looks like he is going in for the general kill. So, you know, I'm not a big fan of that. That's kind of ticky-tacky in my opinion. Don't ever try to go after the general. Just, yes, tactically it does help. And if you're in a situation where it's like, I need to kill the general or else I'll die, then yeah, I get it. But it's just not very honorable in my opinion. Oh, he does see that his Chaucers are coming in, so he does retreat those guys. Good call on his part. Not only honorable, but also wise, because he would have lost all his guys. So, in the meantime, we do have some fat stacks. So, in this case, what you want to do is maybe put 2 lines here, long lines, outflank him on this end, but he does have 2 guard units coming in. But also just layer your units, and maybe be able to shoot from afar. I do finally get into the battle, but look, exhausted, and very tired. So, it's just, my guys are here, but they're kind of worthless. If they ever did get into any kind of battle, it's not going to go good for them. So, he is just waiting with his Lancer Cav. This guy is pushing back into the woods, which is probably wise. And my guys are starting to form up into lines. Let's fast forward just a little bit. Oh, actually, hold on. We got the push. So he did bring 4 thick squads of musketeers and are pushing the hill. He is getting his foot guards into position to shoot from the backside. These are Fusiliers and National Guard, so they should be able to do pretty decent on that, and I think he is going to try to get a charge in with his Lancer Cav right here to really break him. So this is where all the action is. Whenever I'm playing, I'm not watching this at all. I do see he is trying to shoot from the side, and that is perfect. That's a great vantage point. He is going to get quite a few kills from doing that, and actually he just already routed from the field, so perfect. In the meantime, I am... Oh, what is this Austrian doing way over here? Where did you come from? That's funny. Alright, so I'm setting up. I'm trying to get everyone in lines. I'm trying to walk them as well. Oh, he does get the charge in to the National Guard. He does have his own foot guard in here, and they're going to take the shots. Now, let's see if he squares them up before. And... nope. Oh, he gets one. He gets one square. But the other one does not appear to be in... Oh, he does get both. Okay, so that's going to be a pretty dire situation for his Cheshire Chevals, and that is going to pretty much crumble any type of success that he might have. But honestly, with my army coming into the fray and the other Prussian, well, still a ways out, it looks like it's about to be over anyway. He does start to push the hill a little bit more. He is face-to-face, toe-to-toe with the Chaucers, and they finally go. And now this whole side has crumbled. Luckily for him, they are still pretty healthy squads, and they aren't fully routed, so they might see some people come back. Yep, this one's already come back. I imagine these two will come back pretty quickly as well, especially since they're running towards the general, which always helps. I, in the meantime, have now gotten in position and have started laying in to the Fusiliers of Lion up here with my long range. Funny enough, I don't know how this happens, but I don't have fire at will on these guys. I don't even see it until a little bit later, so it's just, I'm just got them standing there doing nothing. I also have these Jaegers shooting from afar, so it's just a full-blown encirclement at this point. He does get some guys back into the fight, and he is starting to do the line this way and lines this way. However, it's just not looking good for him. We have two musketeers and a couple of musketeers in the back that are going to be doing the layering lines, and they are also, some of these are also shooting into the side of the hill here. That was a good volley though. Look at that. Man, you gotta just love the aesthetics of this game. I mean, this is full on, like, you're in it to win it in the classical era, when things were more gentlemanly. So I do start to move up my guys. I do finally see that they are not on fire at will, and I do end up clicking that button here shortly and getting them to go and fire. Maybe. There they go. Oh yeah, now they're dropping like flies. Yeah, so that's gonna go dwindle down pretty quickly. And meanwhile, these guys do get a good push, but like I say, layer your lines. Well, you might have bayoneted this guy, but now you got to go and face off with these guys, and now you also have this third layer to get through as well. That's just going to be a tough time. At this point, I guess you got to stand there, but realistically, you got to you got to do something about these long rangers, because I've already killed 30 guys, and he hasn't done anything to thwart that. Meanwhile, the Prussian player is starting to move up. I will go ahead and move up with him. These are Landwehr and the 47th. So we are still moving on in. Let's see here. At a certain point, I do start to really press hard, and I think, yeah, this is the moment I just said, all right, it's time. Let's just go ahead and get toe-to-toe and get going with it. Most of his army is back here. Really, he has a whole army. He really should have pushed my guy, and that way he could have pushed me a little bit. That would have given them a little bit better opportunity to win this fight. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. Oh, and this is the worst thing you could do. Why would you square? That doesn't make any sense. This is just a more compacted area for me to kill you, and it just makes it an easier kill box. But that's what they do, and that's how they end up dying. So a full squad of 120 Swiss just get shot basically without killing any of my guys. Meanwhile, yeah, he does do really good, to be honest, with the full bayonet. He bayoneted through almost an entire Prussian army, which is pretty impressive. But at this point, the game is over. Good game to our opponents. It was a lot of fun. I felt like I was kind of the one leading this whole army, because let's see if the numbers reflect it. Yeah, so I do have the team MVP with almost 1,500 kills. Where my partners got, one got almost 13 and one got closer to 12 respectively. I guess this is the guy that was fighting off the Ottomans, if I had to take a guess, and this is the guy that was fighting the other French. The middle French was the one that I was fighting. You know, I actually thought he had more kills than that, but I guess not. Him and the Ottomans were the ones that really held their own against us, but honestly, none of them got to the 4 figures, so it was not a good match for them. Let's take a look at the team MVP. It was the 47th Czech Regiment, right after the Windblower Jaegers. I'm going to keep calling them Windblowers. That's just what they are. Look at that. None of them, all of them get to go home and tell tales of the historic victory that they've accomplished. The next best was the Archduke Charles Legion. Most of those guys did die. There was 15 that get to go home, but they got 157 kills. Another Jaeger got a 145, 143 for the first Emperor's Own, and the last one is this German Fusilier who also got 3 figures. So 6 regiments in 3 figures. Who was the worst besides the general? This Landwehr. I guess they were just one of the ones that was cannon fodder. I honestly don't know where those were, because I know whenever I put the ones in front of the windblowers, they should have gotten quite a bit of kills on that, because they were just toe to toe with them. And my horses really didn't do too much, but they did do a lot in the sense of distracting and giving my guys opportunities. But good game to our opponents. It was a lot of fun, and we will see you on the next one. All right.